Will SNAP and Medicaid vanish in 2025? Welcome back, villagers. In this video, we're going to see what is going on. Because of late, there's been a lot of misinformation, and the last thing we want is to get misled. My villagers, Congress just dropped a budget bomb on the middle class, aka me and you. You may not need food stamp or Medicaid. I am not a recipient, but it is affecting a lot of people. What does this mean? It just means that there's going to be less food on the table and less doctor visit. Why? Because House Republican passed a budget plan. It is not finalized, but they passed a budget plan on February 25th, 2025, kicking off President Donald Trump agenda. We're going to see SNAP, aka food stamp, and Medicaid. How much are we talking about? Is it a small trim or is it a huge chunk? Let's start with SNAP. Food stamp could lose around 230 billion. Hungry days are ahead, or is this a cleanup? The reason why I'm saying around 230 billion is because it is not finalized. Look at it like a business negotiation. President Donald Trump agenda want this, but the Senate have to vote. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. The plan target 230 billion in cuts to SNAP for 10 years. That equal to 42 million folks could get less grocery for their table or family to eat. Medicaid, why is that important? Medicaid is facing up to 880 billion. That just means that less doctor visit and Medicaid is about to get chopped real bad. 880 billion could get slashed from Medicaid over a decade, cover 1 in 5 Americans. That is about 72 million. Let me know in the comment section because you may not be a recipient. I am not either. I feel as if I am capable of working. I'll work. And if I can make more money, I'll make more money. So I'll save the food stamp and Medicaid for people that are in need. However, they're all fraud. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well too. We have to see why the cuts and what a fraud am I talking about. Tax break for the rich, but our food and health take a hit. It doesn't sound fair, right? But we have to do it because it is to offset 4.5 trillion in tax cut, mostly for the wealthy, the yacht crew. But I'm don't think of it as I'm hating this proposal. I'm only sharing you based on the math that I'm seeing. President Donald Trump tax bracket based on number and data, it's always beneficial for the middle class as well. But in the current proposal, it shows that the rich are getting a pretty nice chunk. Don't hate me. I'm just sharing you real information. I mentioned fraud earlier. What fraud are we talking about? Well, there's a lot of fraud. They're blaming the cheaters, the fraudster, because if you look at the data, there is about 50 billion gone wrong. But is that the whole story? Is there something more? Because GOP said it's all about waste. Medicaid lost 50.5 billion to improper payment in 2023. Snaps got billions in fraud as well. So this is why the proposal is made because if you look at what Department of Government Efficiency is doing, there are crazy amount of fraud. We're looking at hitting trillion, potentially 2 trillion or 3 trillion. I'm not saying everybody on SNAP and Medicaid are fraudster. I'm saying that there is a large amount of money that need to investigate. Where's the paper trail? What is going on? Because of one bad apple, it doesn't ruin for everybody else. Because when it comes to food, I am very compassionate. When it comes to doctor visit, if the family really needs it, I'm very compassionate. But when it comes to people stealing, I'm not for that. My tax money or your tax money should go to people who are truly in need. Sounds fair? Let me continue. The real impact. How is this going to hurt the middle class, the real people, the real hustler that really need our help? Millions might lose food and doctor visit. And with that, it gave me a feeling of, are we talking fraud fixes or family struggle? It's a mixed feeling that I'm having because I know that there are fraudsters. I know there are people that are desperately in need. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think of this proposal so far? Remember, it's not a law yet. They need to go through the Senate. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So, the real impact, this cut could kick 9 million off SNAP monthly. It's a lot of people. And 36 million off Medicaid if the state can't cover the gap. When I mention state, because there are some states in America, they have a very, very poor GDP. They don't make enough money, so they rely on federal. However, there are states that have a lot of money and they are using that money for what reason? We don't know because there's no paper trail. I give you a very good example. California. California been crying about homelessness for a very long time, and there are billions with the S on top of billion going toward homelessness. But every single year, if you look at stats and data, it go up and up and up and up and up. So there was an audit, and it turned out that 24 billion went missing. I had that in a different video. Check that out. So that lead me to, it's Gavin Newsom, the governor. What is he doing? And that's the thing that bothers me because there are states that desperately need federal funding and there are states that don't. So by cutting Medicaid and SNAP, is this really helping or hurting people? Honesty is the best policy, but due to recent certain events of late, receipts are coming out through the Department of Government Efficiency, and I am disgusted with the money that they're using, our money, my money, your money, to fund terrorists, to fund DEI programs, to fund transgender ideology in different states. That just blew my mind. I don't want my tax dollars go toward those things because it doesn't help American. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section because this is a crazy situation that we're dealing with. So what are they saying? Of course, when this proposal came out, a lot of people came out and said, Donald Trump, oh, he bad, he's lying. President Donald Trump clearly stated, no worries, we're just trimming fat. But the far left was saying, can we trust you? We don't trust billionaire. Yeah, for my 2 cents, I am seeing the most transparency I had ever witnessed in the history of America because of Elon Musk and Department of Government Efficiency. I could be wrong, but I like receipts, and that's what they have been providing. If you want to check it out, look at doge.gov. It's on there. Go ahead and take a look. So, President Donald Trump team claims they'll love and cherish these programs. They are only here to trim waste, not benefit. And I believe them because President Donald Trump ran on his campaign. And so far, he is trying his best to keep his promises. You can sense I'm a little biased simply because I like it when people are transparent with me. And that's why I voted for President Donald Trump because of the adventure he assembled. They had been very transparent. And when they gave me receipts of the money that go to certain organization, I like that. Honesty is the best policy. So where do we go from here? I mentioned earlier that none of this is concrete. It is still in the negotiation process. The Senate, the wild card. Will this fly, flop, or flip? Remember, Senate still debating it need 60 votes, and the GOPs, they got 53. The negotiation process is very, very important. They can shift or it can stall for a long time because they want to take this number, bring it down, boost that number up, add another thing in. It's a negotiation process. So, to my villagers that been misled by legacy media, I advise you to give me a follow, comment whatever your concern is, and I'm happy to dig deep and give you the best honesty that I can provide. But don't let legacy media lead you to the wrong direction because they tend to blame everything on the orange man. He's bad, but he's the one that providing receipts. not them. So with that, we have to understand 2025 could simply means we're cutting down a lot of waste, lean, and it may look difficult at first, but we have to understand with changes, we need to make decisions that may not fit our narrative at first, but we have to see the bigger picture. This cut, it couldn't hit till late 2025 or 2006 if it all passes. So there may be some scrambling in some states, but we have to look at the longevity of America. We need to fix things now or we have nothing in the future. I hope you understand my point, my villagers, because that is very important. So, what now? We learn about SNAP, we learn about Medicaid. Where does that leave us? What is your 2 cents? I would love to hear it in the comment section simply because a healthy conversation is needed. And don't be alarmed. Like I mentioned before, nothing is concrete. It's a negotiation, it's a business plan that need both sides to share their ideas. And I am optimistic that we're going to trim a lot of waste. And with the money we save, it can go toward the real recipient through food stamp and Medicaid. It's not the end of the world, my villagers, but just in case, remember, just in case hard time is on the horizon, we still have each other. United we stand, and apart we will fall. Thank you for watching the entire video. You make it to the end. Before I let you go, take care of your family. And most importantly, we have to take care of our health. Until next time.